Hey everybody, welcome back to Get Indie Gaming, where today we're counting down 10 of the best looking indie games coming out this week. At this week's number 10, Good Company is a tycoon management simulation game that looks pretty darn sweet. Like many games of this genre, you play as the CEO of a firm that's in the robot building business. Here you're looking to create new products, build your business and generally make a decent profit, all within an industry that sees continual evolution. We're looking forward to seeing how the game tackles the journey from a simple operation and how it scales with you researching and delivering new technologies, from such things as new battery cells to offering different robot parts, and how it deals and presents what seems to be the game's overall logistics and sales systems. And of course, how you're able to grow and expand your firm into something bigger. Good Company will be in early access for between 8 and 14 months, although it ships already in a state where the core gameplay loop is already in place. The finished game will see additional content in terms of more products, crafting abilities, with it also having co-op multiplayer added to the core single campaign mode. On the face of things, there's lots of stuff here to keep us interested, and once again it's out in early access on March 31st. Up next and at number 9, and something that's so very silly and so very welcome given the times in which we find ourselves, Chapeau is straight up fun couch co-op game from Salt Castle Studio based out of Austria. Now, we all agree this appears just a little bit daft, and while we've yet to play it, the core idea here is that you're playing as a hat within a multiplayer platformer with mid-air hat-based combat within different game modes, all set within levels that have been inspired by Austria's historic city centres. By all accounts, each of the hats have their own distinctive and what the developers are calling characteristics, which better suit some play styles rather than others, with it supporting up to 4 players and split screen with online gaming also present by way of Steam Remote Play. This one's also coming to the Switch.
We stand on the precipice of history. Our teams have been working with some of the country's top scientists.
We need proper assurances about these nanocells, Dr. Tennant.
Why should we continue to bankroll someone so young?
From something as silly and wholesome to something given the world around us which might be a little too close to the bone for some. At number 8, The Complex is an interactive FMV and comes out on March 31st. Written by Lynn Renee Maxey, part of the Emmy Award-winning team from The Handmaid's Tale, this choose-your-own adventure game features 8 possible different outcomes, with it using what the team behind it are calling relationship and personality tracking systems. This means your choices and actions affect how certain scenarios progress, with them changing how the film ultimately comes to an end. At the end of each playthrough, you're going to be given a personality score and breakdown of how you played the game. In doing so, it's going to touch upon 5 basic dimensions of personality, such as your openness, agreeableness, and neuroticism. FMVs can be, well, they're often hit and miss affairs, although we have our fingers crossed with this one. The ability to pause the gameplay for improved audience participation should be a nice little touch for streamers. The Complex is coming to PC via Steam and all of the current generation's usual consoles. Out on home PC by way of Steam again on March 31st, Fates of Ort is very much a retro-inspired fantasy RPG with a focus on strategic decision-making with a story that's driven and altered by the decisions you make while playing the game. The pixel art looks really well done, and with a strong focus on using magic with 12 different spells that can be combined with 3 elements, Fates of Ort looks likely to reward strategic playing rather than simple brute force play styles. As with many of these games, we like the look of the overall campaign and will be checking this out to see how it deals with what are said to be difficult choices you'll make along the way, particularly in relation to characters you'll choose to save or those you'll leave behind. Moving on, and at number 6, and well, firstly we may need to apologise. The launch date seems to be a little up in the air. While its Steam homepage says Jack Axe is coming out when it's shiny and all polished, we have press info from a couple of usually reliable resources saying it's coming to Steam on April 3rd. Said to be inspired by a mix of Norse and Filipino mythology, you'll play as Jack in solo play or with her sisters in multiplayer within a 2D open world adventure. We like how all of this one looks with its colourful graphics, and also how it seems to use the axe chucking abilities to better explore the world and undertake platforming challenges. This type of mechanic reminds us of a few games, for example Flint Hook, and if it's executed in a similar style, could make Jackaxe another little gem. Again, apologies if we've got the launch date wrong, and if so, consider ourselves hanging our heads in virtual shame. Again, moving on, next up, Curious Expedition, this week's number 5, came first out in 2016, with many outlets such as Rock Paper Shotgun giving it the best roguelike title of the year. So after a good while, with the follow-up already in a closed beta, the original gets a release on consoles on April 2nd. So after all this time, if you haven't played this already, why should you consider picking this up now? Well, for us, it's always been a game about bite-sized little or not so little stories and occurrences within a roguelike exploration game where you choose from a number of famous people such as Nikola Tesla or Amelia Earhart, and you set off on a 19th century expeditions to find the legendary Golden Pyramids. Given everything's procedurally generated, some runs are, dare we say, easier and more fun than others, although the little snippets and stories you can get out of this with your collection of travellers has kept us coming back to this after all the years. We can see us picking it up again when it's out, most likely on the Switch, come April the 2nd. Yeah, this week's number 4, with it offering us all some more much needed silliness. Totally Reliable Delivery Service is coming out this week on Epic, Switch, PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Like a few others within this week's countdown, its primary focus for us will be on the local couch co-op options, with it offering up to 4-player action. While we'll play this mostly locally, you're also able to have a go with this one online with others, where you're able to go about the very, or not so very serious business of getting deliveries out to the various destinations. The ragdoll physics and platforming, with you jumping, diving, driving and sprinting all about the place, well, it looks so much fun and again just so silly, and is pretty much everything we as a small collective all stuck indoors for the foreseeable future needs to keep our spirits up. Pleasingly out on April Fool's Day, April the 1st, this could be the game that perhaps we here at Get Indie Gaming will live stream together for the first time. That is, if we can get the tech to work. If you're picking this up or would like to see us play it on launch day, let us know down in the comments. Next up, and yes, I suppose we couldn't help ourselves, here we have the Ottoman Empire, this week's number 3, with it coming out on April the 2nd. While this has a full single-player story mode, it's the split-screen co-op one that's made us want to show it off in this week's launch video roundup. What's more though, the single-player mode also comes with co-op options, so that's even better, and like a few others featured in this rundown, it looks just an awesome way of spending some of this time indoors with its front and centre full of house party gaming vibes. This is one party shooter within a genre we rarely play that we're honestly looking forward to getting hold of as soon as we're able. The Ottoman Empire comes out on Steam and the Nintendo Switch, as well as the Xbox One. This week's runner-up, already out on Apple Arcade over the Alps, comes to Steam on March 31st. We adore the art style, which reminds us of travel posters we see from time to time in museums or art galleries, with it using a selection of so-called lost postcards to reveal its story of intrigue and spying within 1939 Switzerland. All in, the story and characters are superbly written, with the branching tale offering a mix of touching moments, adventure, double crossings, and also with it having a cadence that rises and falls depending on the choices and decisions you make while playing the game. With its multiple endings and general warming aesthetic, we're extremely excited and looking forward to spending more time exploring over the Alps, and yes, as many we suspect are wondering, a further rollout of this on the Switch at some point would again be handsomely welcomed. At number 1, and while as this video airs we're under a review embargo, we've played In Other Waters from start to finish, and can in all honesty say as a group and as individuals, well, we've never played or seen anything quite like it. Sure, the theme and premise in many ways is similar to Subnautica. You find yourself within an alien ocean while exploring the environment and checking out local ecosystems, while also being part of something far larger. However, that's where the comparisons should end. In Other Waters, you play as an AI within a scientist's dive suit, with you assisting them to move around and navigate the environment. Now here's the thing, it's all played out by way of a subtly and brilliantly understated piece of user interface that, if you let it, expertly guides you through, all the while looking spectacular. It's colours that ebb and flow and change depending on where you are and how deep you are within the ocean. It's also deeply relaxing, and while you don't get to see all or any of the creatures and structures your character and scientists describe, it's also very well written and pulled together that it's just so easy to imagine and mentally build a piece of the world as you go from place to place. We expect this may disappoint a few people, although it shouldn't, and what's so very key in Other Waters is the strength of the narrative. It's bang on for the current climate of looking and finding hope within dark times, and how we might reflect and relate to our positions within the world. So yes, In Other Waters is a special game, with it being, as we said earlier, unlike anything we've played before, and it's something we feel fully able to recommend with it coming to the Switch on April 3rd and to Steam too. We played this on the Switch with a copy provided by the publisher for review purposes. So we're curious, if you see anything here you think you might get hold of, be sure to let us know down in the comments. And while you're here, please also like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Many thanks for watching. We'll see you all here again next time for another indie game video.